What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. As you can see, this is probably going to be a psychology video considering the fact that we are in the woods, and I'm not going to just be spewing out trading information in the woods like this, but there's something I want to talk about, and it's the importance of celebrating your wins. It's the importance of patting yourself on the back when you do something that you've been meaning to do. Whether or not you saw the results you wanted to, it's the fact that you tried. And with anything in life, and this goes beyond trading, you are going to constantly be tested. You are going to constantly be put out of your comfort zone. And your job is to just, every time you're in that position, give it your all. And regardless of the result, like I said, it's the fact that you tried. With trading and just with money in general, it's super easy to just always want more and more and more and more and more. And it's like you're fucking running on this hamster wheel. And you forget to celebrate the wins. The first time that you pass an account, maybe your first payout, right? It doesn't matter where you are in your journey. But the point is, you're making an effort, and for that, you should be proud of yourself. And you probably don't hear it enough, but you should. And I am proud of you, especially if you are watching this video, because you are making an effort to change your life. And that is very important. Not a lot of people can sit and reflect and realize that, maybe I'm not too happy in the position I am, and actually do something about it. And you're not going to see, everything change overnight. But with each step that you take and with each failure, you are going to grow and you are going to get better. I really want you to understand that it's not about the outputs that you should be celebrating. It's about the inputs. And I know whoever's watching this, that you are probably trying everything on this earth to make shit work. And for that, I am proud of you. Just know that as you start accomplishing more things in life, and maybe right now might not be the time where you can relate to this, but there will be a point, because I believe in you. Once you start making a bit of money, once things start working out, it's important to take a step back and realize how far you've come. Look back and remember all the effort you put in to get to where you are. I know it's very common that when you're just a visionary and you're delusional and you tell yourself all the time, like, I'm going to have all these things, and then you get it, it's almost like this light turns off and you're like, well, I knew that was that was going to happen. Like, I expected that. And I see that a lot. I hear people talk about that a lot, where it's like, well, I just wasn't excited anymore. I was more so relieved. And I get it. It's an understandable feeling. But that doesn't mean you still can't take a step back and realize what you've accomplished and what you've done. With trading specifically, it's one of those things where nothing will feel real unless you make it feel real. You have to believe me when I say this, because you become numb to numbers. You become numb to a lot of things since you're working every day to be more robotic and emotionless. And so when you start seeing results, when you start making money, we can't really process it unless we do something to show ourselves it is real. And that's why I personally always tell people, if you really want to feel the power of trading and being successful in trading, take a trip somewhere, even if it's just going 2 blocks down to an Airbnb. Just go somewhere, spend a bit of money on staying somewhere you haven't stayed, and work from there, trade from there for 2 days, 3 days. Because every day that you wake up in that new environment, you're going to remember why you were doing this. You're going to remember, I am here because of trading. And that's something that I did for the longest time. And I kind of wish I documented it more on YouTube. But I spent a year traveling all over Europe, just going to places I've never been. And throughout that time, I was trading at the best of my ability, because I was constantly reminded why I'm in the position I am. And we don't make enough effort to do that. as people, we just love to chase and chase and chase and chase and keep going after more. And we rarely ever take a step back and acknowledge how far we've come. A lot of people try to just define their success by how much money they've made. But I like to think about it, how much risk you've taken. The amount of times that, you failed at some shit and you just kept going. The amount of times where you were confused and you kept searching for answers. All those times where you kept pushing through all the bullshit. That's what true success is. It's the grit to just keep going through stuff, because eventually everything will click, everything will work out in your favor, but it will only happen to those people who just keep on going. And I even to this day struggle with that, bro. I even to this day struggle with like actualizing everything. Is that the right word? Making everything feel real is what I'm trying to say. Because even as you become better and you start making more and more money, you realize that money isn't what drives you anymore. It's no longer the goal. You start thinking of what you can do to improve yourself, to put yourself out of your comfort zone. Like I said, everyone wants to try new shit. That's the fun in life. And so I'm always working to, of course, just explore, travel, learn more about myself, and acknowledge everything that I've done. Because it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget. And, I hope whoever's watching this, you really take my advice, and one day you book a trip somewhere when you make your first bit of money, and you sit down there, and when you're looking out, this view that you've never seen before, and you're staying at a place that you've never been before, you remember this video, and you think, damn, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I took the damn risk. And you should be proud of yourself. Because most people, when they are judged, when they are doubted, when they are literally the black sheep, they give up. They don't like feeling left out. People don't like doing what's untraditional, what's been told not to do, despite it being, probably the best thing you can do for yourself. Because it's relatively isolating. It's a lonely thing to not take other people's advice, to not go down the same path as others. But that is what really builds character. That is what gets you, the ability to travel and be anywhere you want and do whatever you want. It's by not giving a fuck what other people say. And if you seek validation through other people, you'll never truly be happy. Which is why it's important that you always take a step back, reflect, and just tell yourself, I am proud of myself. And you should do it right now. You should tell yourself right now, I am proud of myself. Because it doesn't matter if you haven't made $1 million fucking dollars. It's the fact that you're sitting down watching this video right now and you're listening to the things I'm saying. So, yeah, please just throughout your journey, it's important to slow down and enjoy the view. But it's also important that you never get too comfortable, because comfort really does kill. And if you look around for too long and take in the view and you relax, then you lose that drive. You lose that momentum. And life is about momentum. You need to capitalize on momentum 24/7. When you're in a good headspace and things are going well, that's when you work even harder. That's when you start doing more. Because that's when shit actually can see the most amount of growth, when you can actually do another, make a huge accomplishment that you couldn't even imagine. And yeah, just keep going. Just keep going. You got this. Keep taking the risk. Keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't listen to anybody else. And most importantly, be proud of yourself. Because it is not easy. It is not easy to stop caring. Well, to just not listen to what others say, to what the world says you should do, and just pave your own path. But that is what makes millionaires. That is what builds character. And I have full conviction that whoever's watching this will do exactly that. And you will continue taking risk and being proud of yourself for all the little things. Even if it's just making your bed, if you haven't done that before, folding your clothes, making yourself breakfast, going to the gym an extra day, getting 8 hours of sleep. The point is, all these things contribute to something bigger. So be proud of yourself for every change that you've been willing to make throughout your journey. Thank you for watching.